Hey everybody, it is Wednesday, October 19th, and we are on page 39 in our interactive notebooks today. Our topic is Investigation 3.2, Measuring Magnets, and our focus question for the day is, how can you increase or decrease a magnetic force? First thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to our objectives on page 34. And we're going to summarize how we can distinguish between a magnetic and non-magnetic materials using at least one picture diagram to help you with your summary. So we're going to take a minute, number 2, and distinguish magnetic from non-magnetic materials. Like, what are the characteristics? Summarize what you learned in Investigation 3.1. And the other thing we're going to do today is we're going to do 3 more vocabulary on page 35. They are controlled experiment, independent variable, and dependent variable. A controlled experiment is an investigation in which only the factor is being tested varies. So that's when you're only changing one factor within an experiment. The dependent variable is the variable that we think might be affected, and the independent variable is the variable we think might cause the effect. So, independent variable is the thing that you are changing in the investigation, and the dependent variable is what is affected by that change. Looking ahead to Investigation 3.2, keep in mind the supplies you have and what type of experiment you can conduct to answer the question, how does the number of magnets impact the strength of the magnetism or the magnetic pole? All right, so the number of magnets impact the strength of that magnet. All right, and we're going to write a controlled experiment with that question in mind. Keep in mind we have our cups, and we'll have a tongue dispenser, and we have 4 magnets, and then you have a paper clip in which you can hang the washers on. So as we begin, we need to talk as a class about what are the variables we need to consider. Which variables should be kept constant and which variables should change. And we're going to kind of talk about this as a class, variables that are going to change, and so we can observe the independent and dependent variables and how they relate to each other. All right. Within Investigation 3.2, you're going to be asked to create a data table, and your data table should look something like this. It should look like magnets and then how many washers it held in each trial. And the reason we're going to do more trials is because you might mess up, and you're going to want to end up averaging those numbers for the magnets to see if the number of magnets affect the number of washers. All right. As we're working, you're going to want to discuss the results with your group. Do they have a pattern? Do they make the graph? Can you see the pattern within the graph? And then you're going to plot those data points on a student sheet 3.2, measuring magnets. That's a graph, and be sure to label the axis, include a title. And then for number 8, based on your data, what can you conclude about the factors that increase or decrease the strength of a magnet? So your to-do list today is to finish your data table, your graph, and question 8. And then when you get time, read through Investigation 3.3 and answer question 1 in order to get ready for tomorrow. Have a good night, Cardinals, and thank you.